Half a day and welcome to A Higher Degree. I'm Kathleen Moore-Lynn and I'm the Director of Integrated Marketing Communication at the University of Guam. And of course the show focuses on the University of Guam and GCC, but this week we focus on UOG business seniors who just presented their capstone research projects in Dr. Annette Santos' class, and boy is she tough. This is what I've heard. So with us today, we have got Charlene Bamba Cruz and we have A.G. Golveo. Yes, all right, and both of them, actually there were 12 different projects, but we don't have all 12 today. We have about 6, I think, 6 or 7. Right. And they're all created around the framework that your professor gave you, Maila Ta Fan Bokka, which is promoting Guam through its food, right, basically. So first of all, I want to hear about your projects and how you came up with these concepts. And really everything in the business school is how it's going to relate to the real world and how you can really make it happen. Right, so, right. So AG, want to go first?
Sure, Ms. Kathleen, thank you. With our group project, what we wanted to do was of course grasp the concept of Maila Ta Fan Bokka, but at the same time, not only what can we say about Guam's food, but how can we promote it and help our people. So in this case, we wanted to restore the Guam's Farmers Co-op that can promote our island's resources and at the same time help sustain our island. So we were really looking at sustainability at the same time.
Okay, great. So what are some of the things, well first let me ask Charlene real quick, tell me what your project is about, just encapsulate it for us.
When we first got the idea last semester, we kind of did some research on the buying local, the fresh produce, which is basically trying to promote Guam's farmers as well. And what we came up with was that we saw through the research that we did was that we wanted to promote Maila Ta Fan Bokka in a different angle, which was to create a campaign awareness of how to use our local food, our local produce, and help the farmers and create a better, to have the community understand how you can still use all of our resources with our food, but in a healthier way.
In a healthier way. Okay, so tell me a little bit about of your project and what are some of the strategies that you came up with and how are you really going to get this farmers co-op started?
One of the biggest issues that we were seeing was that a lot of the farmers were looking at the market and it was cannibalizing each other. They were growing the same crops. So we had an abundance of surplus. What we needed to do was that we need to gather all these farmers and let them know that we have a strong demand. Currently, as of right now, for a good example would be that there's 12,000 pounds of cherry tomatoes. That's a demand on Guam per week. Right now, a Guam farmer supplies a distributor for only 1,200 pounds. So if we can gather all these farmers to supply the demand, I think that would greatly help the economy on Guam with more jobs and of course healthier vegetables that's grown locally and fresh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Sean, what about you? What are some of the things that you came up with in your capstone presentation that are going to make that a reality, I guess, with your campaign?
Well, the first thing what we aim to do, of course, is we are going to partner with Guam Medical Association, as well as with the help and research of UOG's Consumer Family Science, to help come up with, they've already have all the research in terms of recipes and how they can, how the people of Guam, how the consumers can use it and cook nice and healthy and still go to the local, use our local produce as well. And Guam Medical Association is going to help fund it, fund this campaign awareness.
Did you talk to them?
Yes, Dr. Akimoto is a big part of why we decided to do this.
And when you did your research, were you thinking about, you know, because we have so many instances of diabetes here, and trying to get people to realize that all the processed foods and the canned foods are not good for you, and then to go for the local produce.
Yes, you know, public health was, of course, vital in terms of statistics on how the chronic diseases continue to rise obesity, child obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease. These are all things that we want to capture, to decrease in numbers, and eat healthier, support our local economy, and give back. And when we create that demand for the farmers, it goes right back into our economy.
So did you come up with some sort of a draft ads or
yeah, we came up with Iguanaje Isla, and that is basically a campaign awareness. It split up into 3 phases, and the DADIC phase, of course, is the beginning, which is more of awareness, getting people to understand what is going on in our island and how we can use this program to have them eat healthier and be healthier. And then the second phase, which is the MANA phase, which is the implementation of our programs through our clinics, our schools. We came up with Best Approved, and that is for our stores and our restaurants to also get them to at least do 25% of buying local produce.
So how hard would that be right now from your research that you've done? Because really it is supplying what the different restaurants need or the supermarkets need or the hotels need, right? So how hard would that be now? I mean, do you know, either of you know what is supplied now? As far as percentage, as far as produce locally to restaurants and things?
The restaurants that we interviewed, Pika, they use over 25%.
Oh, do they? Great.
So does Proa
Okay.
as well. Those are 2 of the restaurants that we had interviewed.
So they go out of their way to make sure that they have those
Anything
connections.
definitely.
Okay, very good.
And then as of right now with our research, I know that Guam's Farmers Co-op as of right now supplies IDI with cherry tomatoes. And of course, our local stores such as Payless, American Groceries, Costuless, and even the commissary, they all support various local farmers with the local produce.
Okay, so right now are these relationships with the farmers and the retail outlets, is that kind of a one-on-one relationship? And so what you're trying to say is if you have this farmers co-op and it's more, well, it does exist, right?
Right.
And it has existed for many years.
Right.
But if it is more organized and the
Right.
approach is done differently, then it's going to be more beneficial for everybody.
That's correct. We do view it as an opportunity to really supply the demand on Guam. One of the great figures that we did on our research was that Guam currently Guam imports $807,000 in the month of November. They're importing about $5 million of vegetables and fruits alone per year. So just that demand on Guam, we can do that in our island. We can support our community.
Well, these are great projects, and I know both of you are graduating, so woohoo, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And good luck in your future endeavors. And don't go away, because we're going to be right back after this with more business students to tell us about their projects. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Burn up the bandwidth. Guam's hottest talk comes to your smartphone with News Talk K57's streaming apps. The latest in news, weather, and talk in the palm of your hand. Plus, exclusive features let you talk back to us via email. Visit our webpage and see breaking news on PNC's Twitter page. Smartphone users can now download the free app, which will stream all day, every day, and anywhere. Look in your platform's app store for K57 and download it today.
Why do you listen to Power 98?
Power 98 plays all the best local music.
They play the best music for me to rock out to.
What
do you love about Power 98?
Whenever I hear Power 98, I feel like dancing.